Let's talk about the vision. The idea of having everything under one roof. Why does that matter so much for you?
I'd like to talk about an analogy, right?
Okay.
Let's think about a multi-specialty hospital. You have all different specialties under one roof. They know your medical history, and then the doctor that treated you first can pass on the notes to the next doctor. Because humans are complex organisms. You have
Exactly.
different organs, you have different things that are functioning in tandem to each other, right?
Yeah.
Study abroad is also like that. So my vision has been to build kind of like a multi-specialty hospital for study abroad. So students could get their IELTS coaching, their GRE coaching, whatever kind of coachings they need for passing those entrance tests, and then help with applications, financial support documents, any other supporting documents, their SOPs that are tailored to their specific personalities. Because SOPs can't be generic AS law. It has to be focused on who you are, why are you going to that university. So the university also is it's kind of like a dating thing where university is also like picking on, hey, is this the right guy? Is this
Yeah.
the right fit? Is he going to add value? Or he or she going to add value to the university? So there are a lot of things that the universities look in SOPs. So I have to personalize these SOPs based off of what the university is looking for and what your personality is that fit, right? Kind of like the dating fit. And then there are other issues with like visa stamping and then what to say, what not to say. You know, sometimes you go to a visa officer and then you might say something that he doesn't like, or he doesn't like the way you're dressed up, or he doesn't think you're formal enough, or you're not serious enough. You know, in reality, you're just nervous, but you're not trained enough to talk in front of a visa officer, and he thinks you're no value to the country, right? So to avoid all of this, you have to be under one roof. And then because we have our own consulting firm, we're able to actually do what a lot of other study abroad companies are not able to do today, is help you with your job search, train you for the job, find you a job, file your H-1B visa, and then all the way to the green card. So technically what we're doing is we're walking your career path with you, right? Right from the point you're ready to make a decision. Like you haven't even made a decision yet. You are ready to make a decision or you're trying to gather information to make the decision. We are helping you with the information, and once you make a decision to immigrate, we're helping you find the right country, the right university, the right kind of exam to take, the right kind of effort to put in, the right kind of documentation to get into the best university possible, the best course possible based on your interest and your personality fit. I mean, let's say you want to go into arts. I don't want you to go into like a computer science field just because you got the job opportunity.
Yeah.
So what is the field that you're interested in a university that's interested in, that can actually help build your career? And if you choose the US, we have this consulting firm that can help you find a job, that can help you all the way through, because immigration is a long process in a lot of countries today, in Canada. And so we have offices in Canada, we have offices in the US, and then we have partnerships in the UK where we can help you get jobs post your master's or any kind of degree that you're doing.
Yeah.
This is something I think is a value add, and like the analogy that I talked about before, all under one roof makes the experience consistent, makes escalation consistent, and then we know you so much that your notes is passed on to the next stage, and then we're already preparing things for you and making sure we're ready for you.
Yeah, every student thinks that about immigration part. Immigration is tough and this all.
Mm.
Like, do you have anything to speak about this immigration?
Immigration is definitely tough, and it's toughened in the last couple of years. There's been a lot of right-wing movements in these countries. When I say right-wing movement, nativist movements where they say, "Oh, UK is only for Britishers, America is only for white people," things like that. They have ballooned, and those kind of movements have ballooned due to uncertainty in the job market, due to problems with inflation, costs, affordability, so many other factors impacting the political situation in these countries. Election of Trump, yeah, so many things. Right? So obviously, those policies or the tone of the governments pass on to the immigration authorities. Right? So immigration authorities are nothing but a reflection of what the political situation is in that country, or what is the popular opinion in the country, because they're after all human beings. So you have to answer the right kind of way. You have to understand and be sensitive of the political situation and the popular opinion in the country, and that is how you win over the immigration officer. So you have to be trained in a way that you're being sensitive to those conditions, and then how you prove yourself to be a value add rather than a burden and somebody that will be ripping off taxpayers rather. Right? But you should be something that you're bringing value to the country, you're helping them out, and then you're net positive to their society.
Just being ourselves is the main thing in immigration.
Just being yourself, and then how you depict yourself to net positive to the society.
Exactly. Just wanted to understand what makes Ansel approach different from traditional consultancy.
I spent about 20 years in the United States, and I had an opportunity to learn a number of things during my career and running businesses. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've run 3 businesses before. And I brought all those learnings and implemented them in Ancile Academy, and that is why I think this is a little different from traditional consultancies. Most traditional consultancies are focused on profit. For me, academy is more of my way of giving back to the country, my home country that I got a lot from, and clearing some of the confusions and some of the questions that I had when I was a teenager or when I was just graduating my BTech.
Yeah.
Right. So academy, I focused on one, information. So we have the most information than any other consultancy possible. So I've made sure that our counselors have access to the best information and the best list of universities, the best list of courses, everything. And then the second thing we did was we adopted technology to a second degree, meaning we use AI extensively to match your personality, understand your personality, and then match it with a course that we think would be a good fit and give you 3 or 4 options that we think have worked well for other people. So we are very data driven. We use technology, which most other colleges or other consultancies don't use as much because they are only focused on selling you a college that they're getting a commission from.
Exactly.
We're also involved in a lot of social activity through Ancile Foundation. Our team spends a lot of time with the people that need help, like orphans or homeless people on the street. Or we've recently done an event at the Neelafar Hospital. So all of this builds empathy within our employees, right? So when you approach an employee, they're not looking at you as a business entity or somebody that with rupee signs or dollar signs, but a human being with true empathy that needs help and to help you out. And that is the kind of attitude I want in my employees and my colleagues. And that is the approach that they've taken with our students who've given enormous love so far. Once they're in the US, they choose us to be their partner for their rest of their careers too because have gotten such a good experience. I'm actually overwhelmed because I'm getting such good responses from Ancile Academy that all these people want to join my consulting firm as their next step in their career. So this has been a career ladder for them, but this has also been a great business opportunity through social responsibility.
I think this is just empowerment over transaction.
It does, yeah.
That's
it does
a great
empower us.
speech.
Yes.
So, what is the biggest mistake you see where students when they are starting this journey?
I would like to point to 2 common mistakes that they make. One is with timeline. They underestimate how early they have to start
Yeah.
to get an admission, right? So if you're, let's say, targeting 2027 fall, you'd have to start at least 8 months ahead of time because the deadlines close. All the good universities close their deadlines by like December, even for fall.
Yeah.
So that's like 6 months ahead they close the deadlines. So what this means is if you're not already decided that you want to go 2027 fall, then you're being left behind or you're passing on the deadlines that are for the good universities and then you're only left with bad choices, right? What I would advise kids in this situation or students in this situation is that make the decision early, most likely by the time in your second year of BTech or maybe first semester of third year.
Exactly.
So that you can start the process, you can collect and gather all the information that you need upfront, and then you pull the plug and start making the application. See, the deadline itself is December. That means you start the application process at least a month ahead. That means you've already zeroed in on 3 or 4 universities, paid the fees, all of the 2 months ahead. So you're looking at almost 1 year ahead of time to start thinking about this process, start talking to people. Do not wait. Waiting is bad because you're only left with bad choices. The second thing I most commonly see students making is because they waited too long, they generally pick whatever is the low hanging fruit because some study abroad firm said, hey, this is a good university, and then they don't do their due diligence.
Oh.
You have to figure out if this is a good personality fit for you, right? You've had interests, you had a certain kind of circumstance, you had a certain kind of life. So what's right for the person before you is not right for you. For example, I went in 2009. It was peak of the great financial crisis.
Exactly.
There were no jobs. People told me that I would suffer. But by the time I graduated, there were so many jobs that I was overwhelmed. I was like super happy, right? Nobody could have predicted that. So if somebody is telling you, hey, wait 2 years or somebody's saying that, hey, when the job market is good, that doesn't automatically mean that it's good for you. You have to figure out what is right for you? Are you okay if the job market doesn't recover in 2 years to do something else? Or are you going there for the learning? Are you going there for a job? What is your personal circumstance like? And then, of course, our counselors are here to help you out with any specific questions or examples of what happened to people that did this or took this fork or did this thing. We can give you all these use cases, and then you can make the decision as to what you think is right from your heart. Look, in India, it's very common for kids to be treated as kids, right? But by the time they're ready to immigrate, they're actually adults. They're no longer teenagers, and they're ready to make these decisions as to what is right for them. And a lot of times I see parents are shadowing them, or parents are trying to make decisions for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's not helping them. So these two things: one is act fast, at least a year ahead. Number two, make decisions for yourself and for your personality, and not because somebody told you, or because your parents told you, or your friends did it before.
That's actually a great advice to everyone, and every student should understand this, and every parent should understand
Every
this.
parent should understand this.
Yeah. Rupen, let's speak directly to the students listening right there. Many of them are sitting with big dreams, big doubts. What do you want to say that?
I'll say this: fear is natural.
Yeah.
And fear has been helpful for our survival, right? It's a survival mechanism. Without fear, you'd do stupid things, right?
Exactly.
So having a healthy dose of fear is okay, but if you're too scared, you're never going to take that step, and you're never going to take that risk. I wouldn't be where I am today and have started all these businesses and have all this success if not for the risks that I took. I mean, I was afraid at every point: what if this fails? What if this doesn't work out in favor? What if I lose all this money? But on the flip side, what if I don't take this action? I'm missing on the upside.
Yeah.
So the upside was too compelling for me, or the upside was so important for me, that I decided to take a small amount of risk. Yes, maybe you're taking a loan. Maybe you're taking a financial risk, or maybe you're taking a personal risk because you're leaving your family behind. All those doubts linger in students' minds, and these are tender minds. These are not hardened minds, or these are not battle hardened. Like, I'm battle hardened now. I see risk very differently. I only look or measure things in terms of upside downside, and I've trained myself to handle risk and deal with risk. But these are tender minds, and it's completely natural to feel that fear, that doubt, the problems that might come with not taking the right decision. But we have to move onward. You have only one life, and then you have to do what you think could be an upside for you. Immigrating to another country is upside because there are so many opportunities and so many cultural exchanges and so much more personally that you can gain by going there. It is very soul fulfilling, and the risk makes you, and the risk taking ability makes you a better person and a stronger person. So there's a saying in English that says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So for every student that's listening to this podcast, I'm only going to tell you one thing: take that risk. Make sure you get advantage from the risk. Don't take risk for the sake of taking risk, but take risk for your ambition, for you to catch that opportunity and make sure you grow into that individual that is very successful and that you dreamed of as a teenager.
I believe every student have a clear picture about it now.
Yes, thank you.
What does success look like to you?
Personally, for me, success meant different things at different ages of my life, different stages, right? When I was a teenager, the dream is to become this busy industrialist,
Yeah.
driving Rolls Royces, flying private jets, all of that, watch the stuff that you watch on TV. And then when you start to make a little bit of money, then you realize the utility of money goes down like this. After a certain amount, the utility of money or the happiness that money brings goes down like this. So I did have fun. I mean, I had nice cars, I had nice homes, vacation properties. I've been to 13 countries. Spent money, and the utility of money is spending, right? But I've gotten to a point where money doesn't matter to me anymore. When I hear the word success and money, they're no longer together. Right now, only two things matter to me: is the impact that I'm making in the society. What will the society remember me for? What will the society think about me when I age and die? Right? What will my child think about me when she grows up? Does she get inspired by me, or does she think, oh, he's just a slob that just made money? Right? So your life should have some meaning. Your life should be inspiring to some people. So making money is out of the list. My child's health, being an inspiration for my child, and my ability to impact and touch as many people as possible is on my current list. But I know a lot of older people, people in their 80s or deathbeds. The only thing they want is touch not have loneliness and just be in touch with their children, grandchildren. They don't care about anything else, not money, not success, not fame, nothing else. They just want to be in touch with the kids and the grandkids, right? So success definition and meaning to you changes at different stages of your life.
Yeah, now it's for Ansel.
For Ansel, like you said, how much impact can I make, right? Or how many of these careers can I change? How many of these people will remember me for the difference that I made in their lives? And that is good enough for me. If I'm able to touch a large population of people, and this is my home country, my home state, I speak Telugu, so if I'm able to bring a lot of these people to a point where they're stabilized in their careers, happy with their careers, raise their families happily, and then change the world in a positive way, I think that would be definitely a large success for me. I want people to be happy. I want people to be successful, and that's my goal.
This is like success don't have full stops. It has only commas. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there you have it, listeners. If today's episode moved you, if it made you think, dream, start planning. Visit Ancile Academy to connect with Rupen's team and start your own journey.